Good morning, class. Good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about the quadratic formula. Okay? This formula here can solve any quadratic equation, whether or not the equation factors or it doesn't factor. And it would tell me what kind of solutions I have. So, probably in the next segment, we'll talk about where this formula came from. Okay, so here's the formula here. It's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. A, b, and c, they come from the equation here. So we're going to take this equation and solve it using the quadratic formula. Okay, and a, b, and c come from here because it matches the standard formula, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So here a is 1, b is 19, and c is 90. So I'm going to take all these values A, B, and C and plug it right into the formula. You plug it in, you chug it out. So we have x equals. So I got negative b, so that's negative 19, plus or minus square root of b squared, so that's 19 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times 90, all over 2 times 1. Now, when you use the quadratic formula, you make sure that fraction bar covers the entire top. If not, your answer is going to be warped. Okay? So make sure that when you write this out, that you don't just stop at the radical part. Make sure the whole top part is covered, because all that's divided by 2a. Okay? Because that's like one of the pitfalls that students use when using the quadratic formula. Now that we got everything plugged in, now we just go ahead and just chug it out. Okay? So we have x equals negative 19 plus or minus square root of 19 squared. That's 361. So we got 361 minus 360. All over 2. All right, so we have here negative 19 plus minus the square root of 361 minus 360, that's 1. Put a 1 there, all over 2. The square root of 1, I know what that is. That's just 1. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross this out here and write a 1 on top of it. So now I have x equals negative 19 plus minus 1 all over 2. My two answers are right there. So what we do need here is break up the final answer into the two answers and evaluate them. So here's x1. I'll put x1 here. x1, you got negative 19 plus 1 over 2. Negative 19 plus 1 is negative 18. Divided by 2, that's negative 9. So x1 equals negative 9. That's one of your answers. Now we go get the other one. x2 is negative 19 minus 1 over 2. Negative 19 minus 1 is negative 20. Half of negative 20 is negative 10. So my final answer here is negative 10. So here I have x1, which is negative 9, and x2 here, which is equal to negative 10. Those are your two answers. Now, this is one that actually factors. And again, I can get the same answer if I factored it. I can also get the same answer if I completed the square. I still would have got these two same answers. So every method of solving the equation will give you the same answers, whether or not you factored it, quadratic formula, complete the square, whatever the case may be. In this equation, we have a problem like that. 2x squared plus 9x plus 7 equals 0. Okay? I want to solve that using the quadratic formula. Okay? Now with the other modes of factoring, for completing the square, that leading coefficient had to be a 1. In this case, it doesn't have to be a 1. We can still take the leading coefficient to be other than 1 and still work it through the quadratic formula. Okay? So I need to know what A, B, and C are. A is 2, B is 9, and C is 7. So I'm going to take these values here and plug them through the quadratic formula. Okay? X equals negative B, which is negative 9, plus minus the square root of. We have 9 squared, B squared, minus 4 times 2 times 7, all over 2 times 2. Okay? So, we're going to take this here and crunch it out and figure out what the answers are. So we have x equals negative 9 plus minus the square root of 81 minus 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 7 is 56. So I got 56 here. Draw my fraction bar. Make sure the fraction bar covers the entire top. All over 2 times 2. Okay? So I have negative 9 plus minus the square root of. That's 35 to me. 25. 25? That's 25. Yeah, that's 25. All right. Okay. Actually, this does break down. Over 4. Okay? With the square root of 25, again, that's on your list. The square root of 25 is 5. So I'm going to cross this out, and I'm going to write a 5 next to it. And so I have x equals negative 9 plus minus 5 over 4. Okay? And so we have x1, we have negative 9 plus 5 over 4. Then you have, that's negative 9 plus 5, that's negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 4, that's negative 1. That's one of your answers. Okay? X2 is negative 9 minus 5 over 4. Negative 9 minus 5, that's negative 14 over 4. I'm going to show this step here in between here. Okay, 4 doesn't divide 14 evenly, but I can definitely reduce the fraction by 2. So we have x2 equals negative 7 over 2. So those are my two answers. X equals negative 1, and x equals negative 7 halves. Okay, again, A, B, and C, we take them right from the equation. A, B, C. And again, also remember, if there's nothing here, you assume it's 1, because if it was 0, it'd be wiped out. And again, A cannot be 0. A can be any number. A can be any number except 0, because if it were, then we wouldn't have a quadratic equation, and there'll be no need to do this video because A is 0. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay? Let's do one that don't factor, one that we know for certain that doesn't break down for any reason whatsoever. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here. We know it don't factor. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it on purpose. I'm going to do that. Because like this is like the perfect what if question. What if we had something like this? How we plug that in? I'm so glad you asked. Okay? Again, I need A, B, and C. Okay? Remember, A is 1, even though there's nothing written there, we know that A is 1. There is no B, but B has to be represented. Because there's no B, B is 0. And C will equal to 25. Okay? So A, B, and C are represented. So now that I know what A, B, and C are, I can plug them right in. Okay? X equals 0 plus or minus the square root of 0 squared. So that's still 0 minus 4 times 1 times 25 all over 2a, which is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. And now we crunch it out. X equals 0 plus or minus square root of 0 minus 4 times 25. That's 100 over 2 equals 0 plus or minus square root of negative 100. And I'm going to take a pause here. Don't pause the video.
She sells seashells on a seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells because there's loads on the sand. Step 1, must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sell much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island. Stockpile them high until they're rarer than a diamond. Step 2, gotta make the people think that they want them, really fucking want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, then you're just a fucking waste man. Free, it's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be your new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. 4, expand, expand, expand. Clear forest, make land, fresh blood on hands. 5, why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6, guns, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rock, sell water to a fish, sell the time to a clock. 7, press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes, then run to be the president of the United States. 8, big smile, make big wave, that's great. Now the truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9, polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10, the world is yours, step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore.